Hi everyone, welcome to this video. This is another pick a card reading. I have 4 choices. This pick a card reading is a little bit different from my other pick a card readings because this is like a walk in a magical forest, and every card has its own meaning, and I hope you appreciate what I'm trying to do here. And I hope it will help you as well. Also, I would like to give a shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel. And I'd also like to mention that I think I have some great viewers, because I can see from the comments that we have some great people coming here to my videos, and I appreciate that very, very much, and I totally dig the comments that I'm seeing. So please do comment on my videos, like and subscribe if you like to see more, and you can always click the bell icon to get notified whenever I get a new video out. So let's begin with the 4 choices. We have the first choice, the clear seafoam andara. That is choice number 1. Choice number 2 is the pink andara. Choice number 3 is the golden andara. And choice number 4 is the blue andara. So take a moment to choose the stack of cards that you feel drawn to. If you need more time, you can pause the video, and you can also use the timestamps in the description box to skip to the choice of a stack of cards that you've chosen. For those of you who chose the clear seafoam andara, I am going to take you through a walk through the magical forest, and when you enter the forest, the first thing you see is a wasp. And this wasp is symbol for anger and retaliation, jealousy, and maybe even the need for revenge or trying to solve conflicts with violence. This is the darker side of your character, and the wasp is bringing this into our vision, into our awareness. So this is something that needs healing. This is what the attention is drawn to. Either you can be very harsh to people in your surroundings, or you need to defend yourself more from people who are a bit stingy, like wasps. And if you walk on, you find a grapevine. In fact, it's an entire forest with grapevines. An entire forest with grapevines that are symbol for letting go of restrictions and boundaries, maybe even losing control, getting drunk, getting heat up from in the moment. It can also point to because of letting go of your boundaries, you can also become more intuitive and more truthful. But this card is in relation to this wasp. Wasps like grapevines because of the sweetness, but they also get very aggressive around grapevines. They get very territorial. Is there something inside you that has a tendency to lose all boundaries when you become angry? This is something you need to pay attention to. It's like you're getting drunk from the grapevines, and in your drunkenness you may forget how strong you come across to other people, and you may be hurtful. But if we continue into this forest, we see a couple of bears, And these bears are about the life cycles. Things in life are about to change. Things are turning and turning from winter to spring to summer and fall and back to winter again. And in the winter this bear sleeps. Bears are always very much in touch with the cycles of nature. Something is changing, something is turning. The wheel of fortune is turning on you, and I can feel that there is something else coming. There is more hope. You find a firefly. A firefly is like a light in the darkness. Somehow you've become aware of some of your more unrestricted elements, and now you can see the light in the darkness as on how to combat these elements in yourself, how to deal with them and how to heal them. This is about spiritual inspiration and hope. Because of the turning of the cycles, things are turning around. You are getting more calm and more fulfilled. As you walk on, you see a elderberry. It stands out between all these grapevines. This elderberry is for fulfillment, being full inside yourself. And as you see this elderberry, you realize that this wasp, that stingy anger that gets drunken from the grapevines is lacking something. It's not feeling full. Something is missing inside that needs to be fulfilled. Once you are fulfilled, you will find that the wheel of fortune, the cycles of nature are turning, and a new chapter will begin. You will be able to feel fulfilled, and once you feel fulfilled, you suddenly see a tiny little fairy. It is the fairy of the wistair. I'm not sure how to say this in English, so I hope you understand what I'm saying here. And this is about wonder. Once you are filled, you can let go of your anger and your frustration and your need to retaliate. You are fulfilled. You no longer need to drink from the grapevines. Everything becomes wondrous again. You can see the blue flowers of the wistair. You can find fulfillment in the elderberries. And slowly your life becomes wondrous again. And there we find the dichotomy in your character. You are very strong and very noble and very powerful and gifted and intuitive. But this dark side needs to be controlled. But once it's controlled, as we know, Morgan Le Fay can be very vindictious, like the wasp. But if you can let go and go with the cycles of nature and become full again with the wonder of life, the tiny little things that fulfill you, you can bring out your softer side, your more spiritual side, your nobler side, and that will bring you far. That will no longer alienate you from the people around you, but you will find yourself in a herd. This herd is what will bring you home. This herd is of like-minded people who understand where you're coming from and respect you for who you are. You no longer need to be stingy and aggressive. A single movement with your tail or your ear is enough to signal that you need more space. And this herd will bring you home. I hope you appreciate this reading, and I'd love to see you back in another one of my videos. Be blessed. Bye. Those of you that chose the pink andara, your walk through the magical forest goes as follows. As you enter, you see a bee. The bee is about luck and industriousness and sweet victory, the honey that will come as the result of hard work and good luck as well. The bee thrives in positive circumstances, in sunny weather, around many flowers. And this bee flies into a forest of birch. As you follow the bee into this birch forest, you realize that this forest is very young. Something new is beginning. The beginning of something new. A birch tree is always the first tree to appear in a place where a forest is developing. They are the ones that make the soil suitable for other trees to grow. This is the tree that is the spearhead of something new. But before you go into something new, you become aware of a little bird. I am not sure how this bird is called in English, but this little bird is fluttering through the trees, and as you see it, you realize that before you can start something new, you need to look inside for your inner truth, to express that when you continue on your path through the forest. And as you walk through the forest further and further, this bird flies to an elm tree. And this elm tree is very much about courage. You are starting something new, or you are on the verge of starting something new, and that takes courage. And the dryad of this elm tree is telling you to find that courage. As the bird lands in the elm tree, you realize that the place where you can find this courage is within you. Then a tiny little elf appears near a small waterfall, and you suddenly realize that there is hope for any new beginnings. As you notice, this is also the first card of this deck, which also means a new beginning. The theme of your walk through this magical forest is so much about new beginnings, manifesting ideas and overcoming your own fears and anxiety and expressing what's inside you to the world outside you. And the bee still flies around, industrious and blessing your beginnings with luck. And then you suddenly see two lovers. You see a knight and a fairy. And this knight is being tested by this fairy. They are lovers, but he has vowed that he shall never speak of her. And once a week they meet, and once a week they are together, and all the other days he needs to be quiet about what is going on. And then this queen comes around and wants to seduce him, and he says that he cannot give his love to her because he has a much more beautiful woman, a fairy woman, and there he broke his promise and he was executed for it. The moment of his execution, this fairy lady took him with her to the fairy lands. But this card, Tri-Amour is its name, is very much about a test. Do not speak too soon about the things that you are working on, because you might foil them. Don't expose your plans yet. You're being tested to keep things to yourself. Keep them inside yourself. And even though you feel that the inside of you is a big storm of ideas, energies, emotions, you want to move forward, but Do you have a direction yet? This is what will carry you back home, the eye of the storm. These horses appear in the wild waves that come out of the storm. But if you center yourself, the storm will go around you, and you will be the eye of the storm where it's always calm, where you can orient yourself in the new direction that you're going. I hope you appreciate this reading, and I'd love to see you back in some of my other videos. I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye! For those of you who chose the golden andara, your walk through the magical forest begins with the hawk flying over. Its screech draws your attention, and you find messages and omens on your path. You are going the right direction as long as you follow the hawk, follow the messages and the omens. And as you see the hawk flying into a forest of aspen, you realize that these aspen bear protection for you. They are usually made, the wood is used to make shields and therefore can protect you. And also these trees are known for their sounds when they're rustling in the wind, which can be seen as a sort of speaking. And you hear these aspen speak to you. You hear them speak of taking on a lot of work for yourself, slowly moving and being burdened with heavy burdens. You feel that you need to go forward, but you can only go slow because of your heavy burdens. There's a lot of friction, there's tiredness, and you want to take a rest. And you follow this turtle, and you see it arrive at a eucalyptus tree. And this eucalyptus tree, the dryad that's in there comes out and tells you that you are burdening yourself with too many obligations. You took on too many things to complete, too many obligations to fulfill, which are burdening you and making you feel smaller than life. A tiny little fairy hops out, and you see that the fairy is free. It is a very tiny fairy, but it is big because it's not carrying any burdens. It is free and light to go everywhere it wants to go. It can do anything. It can become big and strong because of the ability to take on things, more things. This is the example that you can follow. Maybe the message is about leaving some of your obligations behind and create room for new things to grow and develop. That things that are starting small can turn out sometimes big, maybe even bigger than you can carry. As you walk on, you come to a smithy. The smith is working the iron, and you find that this man has the ability to heal and to mend what is broken. Things that were expected to never be able to be healed can be healed. And this smith is the one that can show you that hard work can give you strong results, lasting results, things that will help you on your journey. And then you suddenly notice that a horse is tied up near the smithy. This horse will carry you home, and it's newly shod with irons by the smithy. But before it takes you there, you need to learn to control it. You need to find the balance of forcing and controlling this horse to go where you want to go in the right direction at the right speed. But you must learn to do it in such a way that you secure yourself of the cooperation of this horse, and that you are not being too harsh to it and too strong. There's a fine balance to be found there, and that's the balance that will take you out of this heavy burden that you're carrying, of too much obligations that you took on. This horse will take you to the ability to leave something behind in order to be able to take on something new. And because of your hard work, you will be able to become a leader. So, that is the message that comes out of this walk through the magical forest for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I love to see you in another of my readings. I wish you a great day. Be blessed. Bye. For those of you who chose the blue andara, your walk through the magical forest starts with the water fairy inviting you to follow your feelings and emotions and become aware of them. Find out where they are stemming from, where they are originating from. What is moving your feelings and emotions? As she lurks you further into the forest, you find a forest of vines, and you realize that you are struggling to find your way through life, and you're winding up and down and left and right in order to find your path in life. Are you reaching your goal this way, or are you becoming further away from your goal? This vine can be also damaging to the things it grows on. Every time a vine grows on a tree, it extracts nutrients from that tree and limits the growth of the tree. In your way of trying to find your way through life, are you damaging the people around you? Is it because your emotions take a hold of you and wind you through the forest around the trees? Are you reaching your goals there? How did you get into this situation? But as you walk through this forest, you suddenly see an elephant. And this elephant tells you, it reminds you that the old powers of justice will begin to activate. Something went wrong in your life. Someone did something to you that unbalanced you emotionally and made you struggle to find your way in life. But justice will come. And as you see the elephant, also you hear the hissing of a snake. And the snake tells you that things will be moving fast from now on. You can find justice moving quickly on your path. And as you gaze away from the snake, you suddenly find yourself under a hazel tree. A dryad comes out and tells you that you have the ability to see more than the physical eye can see. You have the second sight. You can see energies, entities. You can see more than the physical eye. And you can practice this. And it will develop you on your path, on your life. And it will also help you to become free of your fears. This is not on its own. This little kobold is telling you, it's warning you, there is something sinister coming, but it tells you not to be afraid of it. Because of your second sight, you have the ability to see entities from other realms and other worlds. Don't be afraid of them, is what Wizen tells you, or Wizen tells you. The unseelie court looks ugly, dark and sinister. They steal babies and children and beautiful women, and they have a way of making them do most horrible things to humans. And these unseelie courts, they enjoy it. They are like the dark demons of the world. You've been confronted with them before. That's what made you off your path. That's what made you like this vine, struggling to find your way in life. That is why you have the need to explore your feelings and emotions. That is why the elephant and the snake are telling you that justice is on its way quickly. You can now see through the shenanigans of the unseelie court, and therefore you become powerful. You don't have to fear them anymore. And the horse that appears that will carry you home is the horse of endurance. Whatever happens, rain or snow, storm or wind, sun sets and sun rises, and rainbows on the edge of the storm. This horse keeps on keeping on its path, slowly but surely working towards its goal. You will no longer have to wind yourself like this vine. You will be able to move in a straight line to your goal. You can see through the shenanigans of the unseelie court, and therefore you no longer have to be afraid. And that is the justice that this elephant and this snake were speaking about to you. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I love to see you back in another one of my readings. I wish you an amazing day. Be blessed. Bye.